I'm in a bit of a food coma. I had enchiladas for dinner, and oh my god, they were ridiculous.
Sounds
It's like,
nice.
here we go. Picture in general. It's just like,
We get a picture. We get a picture of your dinner now. Amazing.
yeah.
That does look good, though.
Oh,
I'm
man.
rolling across the floor now.
Yeah, 3 of them stuffed with chicken and peppers and sauce and cheese. And I'm just like, oh.
Excellent.
Quite spicy too, so
Yeah. Right. Let's get cracking then. So Roundtable 40. I've got it right this week. We're 10 episodes more. We've got an anniversary, as I said last week. So Roundtable 40. This is where we get to put across any news we've got, review the week, review next week, get some feedback. You guys get to hear what's going on, maybe win some cool prizes. Welcome to all the new guys. Seen quite a few new faces in the past few days, so welcome if you're first joining us for the first time. I think that's it for intro this week. So
yes,
what order do we want to start with? Shall we start with... I don't know, what do you want to start with? We go out this week?
Why don't we... Well, I was thinking, why don't we talk about what the plans are for the Darkness Falls server for 7 Days to Die.
Okay.
So
carry on.
No, I was saying when we're planning on launching it, which version we're going to go with, and will it have a blood moon or not?
Well, we can answer those questions. So we're going to have 2 Darkness Falls servers. 1 blood moon, 1 no blood moon. Some people like one way, some people like the other, and I don't think the two really mix. We've been having really good success with our no blood moon vanilla server, so it seems daft not to do one. As far as version goes, we're currently sitting on version 4, which is his first release. And I heard Tal this morning on his Discord that he's dropping 4.01, I believe it is, on Friday. Some patch notes there to new things to test for the admins. We're no doubt going to be rolling with at least 401 because 401 is going to require a save delete. So we don't want to roll out too quickly before he sorts that out and fine-tunes that, which is going to ruin everyone's experience. However, for launch, what I'm thinking then, we've got a new server coming, obviously, for Ark, which is going to be amazing. And we're obviously going to move all of the Ark maps docs as well, yeah?
Yes, I'm thinking everything Ark related will move to that new server.
Okay.
I'll give you some info on that in a minute. Just a quick side note, for those of you that are new to the Roundtable, we monitor general chat while we're doing the Roundtable. So if you've got questions, suggestions or comments, put them in general, and then we'll pause every so often and go through them.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking then is we await delivery for the Ark server, which shouldn't be too much longer now, I would hope. Once that's been sorted out, that's going to obviously free up the other box massively. I don't want to dump 2 more 7-day servers on top of what's already going on Lost Island and Gen 2. I'm not saying it's going to affect it, but I can't also say that it won't. So I think the safe bet there would be DF4 is going to drop as and when we get the new box and configure that and move all the Ark stuff off it. At that point, we'll have a really beefy server to play around with for both 7 days and Rust. And we can do some more development there. So we'll launch them when the server arrives. I don't think we've still got any fixed dates on that. But we are a good portion into waiting now, aren't we? So it shouldn't be too long.
Yes, I've just linked the post that we have on the website about the new server. When we have a confirmed kind of hardware is in the data center type date, I will update that post. But with the server that we've ordered, it's a custom built server in a rack mount going in a data center in London. The server itself is being assembled in China. Yay. So the reason for the long lead time is they actually ship it over and it has to come via boat, not plane, because it's not viable to ship it keeps all the costs down, makes it affordable for us.
And also keeps it in one piece, I'm guessing, as well.
Yeah, totally. So that's why this is taking so long. Because, well, we've ordered it, we've paid for it, and there's a dude stuck in a tunnel trying to turn it around.
Yeah, it's just a case of waiting for the slow boat to arrive, and I think most electronics are in that state at the moment. Not just servers.
So when that does arrive, as Nani said, all of the Arc stuff is going on the new server. That leaves us with our 2 existing servers. Well, 3 actually. 2 of them will be decommissioned because at the moment Arc is split across them, and then the last one will be solely dedicated to 7 Days to Die, Rust, and all variants thereof.
Cool. So those are the plans now for Darkness. I think just to recap and finish off the 7 days section then. For Vanilla, we're pretty much in the place we want to be with Vanilla at the moment. The first round of the shop is up, so make sure you have a look at that. Need to triple check the documentation on the website, but as of last checking, it was correct. So check that out. If you've got any suggestions or concerns about anything that's on the shop, let me know in the dojo. I did see somebody had requested silencer blueprints. That can be done. And was made aware of a very similar problem we have with element shards in Arc, where if you order too many dukes, you have to claim them in ones. So we're going to be splitting the dukes across multiple denominations now. So thanks, Hebby, for reporting that. And we'll probably go with something like 100,000 and 10,000 at a time. I think ties up 7 days for this week. Anything else you want to bring to my attention? Dojo it is, please.
What I will say is just to go into a little bit of detail about why we're changing the Arc server. Currently, our servers, they are powerful, but their architecture doesn't lend itself well to running an Arc cluster under load. It's to do with the way the threads are handled and the kind of Arc processes are assigned priority. So that's why you see issues with it. So moving over to Ryzen and some pretty fast ones at that will deal with that.
Yeah, hopefully.
It's also the reason why you haven't seen the questing and stat tracking system being rolled out to the live cluster yet, because what we're doing is we're putting stuff like that on hold until we've got them up and running on the new hardware, at which point you'll see things start moving very quickly again in terms of stuff that you guys can do. Most of the stuff we're doing is all in the background in preparation for that, and generally just smoothing over what we've already got going.
Yeah.
To answer Krusty's question, the existing servers are Intel Xenons, 8 cores, 16 threads. They only turbo up to 5 gigahertz on 1 core at a time, which is also another reason why we want to get rid of them, because the Ryzens will turbo all cores all the time. They're dual NVMe 1 terabyte rated drives on them, so that's not a problem at the moment for us, and 128 gigs of RAM in each server. So that's all fine. It's just the processor that's causing us the problems. Obviously, when we first launched our Arc cluster many years ago, we never envisaged it getting to this popularity, or we never envisaged the issues that we'd have with those Intel processors. So bye Intel.
Yes.
For Arc anyway.
Cool. If we're moving on to Arc then, first off, I suppose, is congratulations to the guys who nailed the monkey boss the other day. There was obviously a post went up. I think that was on the news, wasn't it? But the alpha monkey is dead. If I can't find that post, I am absolutely going to forget somebody's name, and then I shall have to kick myself. Where did I put that post?
It's in news.
Yes, I did. It's right there. It's in front of my face. So Promelom, Lady Chula, Habigan, Sandy, Scorp, Giga, Abyss, Tom himself, Neck, and myself all went in, got slapped around by a very large red ass baboon, and I think the fight went pretty well, to be fair. We had some deaths. The video's sitting there in the news channel if anybody wants to watch it and see what we did with tactics and stuff like that. But congratulations to everybody involved. It was an awesome job.
And it was an awesome job, and a lot of effort went into breeding up the tames for that.
Oh, it
Just
did
want to be
indeed.
totally clear. It wasn't a foregone conclusion. There was no kind of admin intervention involved. And actually, on the previous week, I watched that same raid team wipe horribly and get its arse handed to it.
We got trounced the week before, yes.
So it's a genuine kill, and hopefully we can have some more to follow. But off the back of that kill, what does that mean for Lost Island?
Ooh, this means there's going to be some changes on Lost Island, doesn't it? So I believe the plan was we're going to open up the shop. There won't be any element on the shop. That's the only change from the live cluster. And the premise behind that is I've had a lot of feedback over the past few days. People loving how things are going on Lost Island, liking the fact that the boss is on farm. That's where the element comes from. So we're going to basically hold back the element and the transfers until the official art clusters open up. But you will now be able to buy, as of Wednesday when the config goes in, you'll be able to buy all the usual animals, potions, pots, whatever else you want from the Ark shop on Lost Island. Having a look through what went through into the alpha kill that we did, even things like shadow mains and whatever you want to buy off the shop is going to take a fair amount of work to get to the point where you're going to be sort of beta and above. The Gamma Monkey's not too bad, but the beta and the alpha especially were absolutely horrible. So we're going to start seeing some new ways of doing the boss and some new creatures and all that sort of stuff, and it's going to be cool to see.
So yeah, so the way I see this for balance for Lost Island is this is probably going to open up the Gamma level boss for a lot of people who have played on the rest of the cluster, accumulated some wealth, and can afford to buy some dinos that aren't native to Lost Island to help them do that. Obviously, that then brings in the elements, and that helps move things along. What I will say is we've had a lot more positive feedback about locking Lost Island, transferring pre-bred dinos and equipment and gear in than you might expect. Players are liking the challenge. They're liking having that Ark feeling back again. And from the feedback we got after the boss kill, it's kind of felt it was still a little bit early just to turn it into OP stuff is going to land on the map and make everything trivial again. So yeah, the shop will open. It'll have everything on it except for the elements, and the elements will drop from the boss on Lost Island on Gamma, Beta, and Alpha. But this should now provide an opportunity to open up the Gamma Monkey, and people can start collecting element who may not have previously had access to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't trivialize it, but at the same time, it does give people a leg up off the back of the hard work of one tribe in particular.
I think there's been 2 or 3 in the running for the boss kills.
Totally.
To be fair, there was one in particular who was massively hot on our heels with the beta, which I think was what made the push happen to actually get the alpha kill. But yeah, it's promoted really, really good group work and people on comms doing bosses, having an immense laugh. It's been really cool. So more of that, I think.
So I'm just going to jump back to Hensom's question about transfer and lag. So on a modded server, the transfer lag is actually caused by the number of engrams the character has learned and unlocked when they transfer into the new server. So once you get past the kind of the count that you get with vanilla Ark, things start getting slower and slower and slower. And if you have a high-level character transfer in that knows all the engrams and has like most of them unlocked, you will get a noticeable lag spike. We do have one solution to it, and I'll let you guys know what it is and see what your thoughts are on it. There's one particular mod we've got, which is Castles Keep's Science Fiction. I think Castles Keep's Remastered has already done this. They took out all their engrams out of the engram list and moved them all over to the crafting benches. So with Castles Keep's Remastered, you go to the crafting bench and you build everything in there. So he hasn't done that with Science Fiction. So what we're proposing to help massively alleviate that transfer lag is we actually remove all the Science Fiction engrams from the engram list. We put them on the shop for like 1 point, and you buy a kit that gives you all the blueprints. You then take those blueprints and install them yourself into a crafting station, so that you can then craft all the stuff from the sci-fi collection, and hopefully that removes any transfer lag.
Should certainly help a lot.
Yeah, it would massively help.
And then,
it would,
as a side thing there, I'll just address it once again because it came up before. The reason we say there would be a charge for the engrams there of 1 point is the system we have in place does not compute with 0 points. So it has to be a point, just to clarify that.
So yeah, there's three kinds of, shall we put in quote, lag that a player can experience. There's frame rate drops due to massive bases and loads of dinos and stuff like that loading in and rendering and stuff like that. There's the transfer lag, which you get when somebody transfers in and they got a shitload of engrams and the server just has a fit because it was never designed to cope with that. Part of that will be alleviated by a faster machine, but that's never going to go away on a modded server. It's just, you're stuck with it. And then there's the last one, which is just the whole multi-threading issue and Arc not playing well with certain processors and boosting speeds. So we can fix 2 out of those 3 things. The third one's up to the player and their graphics settings, to be honest.
Cool.
I don't think there's any more questions there.
Hopefully, Kaiser, yes, they would have learned a lot by Arc 1, we would hope, wouldn't we?
Yeah, you'd hope they would have learned a lot. I always had the feeling that Genesis was more of an experiment for Arc 2 than anything else, to see how they could do like instance missions and different ways of doing boss fights and stuff like that. Because I don't know, well, you're probably all not aware that the way bosses work. In up to Genesis, bosses were fixed arenas that are actually locations on the map that you go to and stuff like that. With Genesis, the boss arenas are actually missions that you get teleported into, and they work completely differently. So you had kind of like Vanilla Arc, which was the island, Scorched Earth, Aberration, which is just all fixed locations. You get teleported to another spot on the map and you fight the boss and you go back. Then you had kind of Extinction, which was an experiment with open world bosses, arenas that are actually form part of the world of the giant titans. Then they moved on to Genesis, which was all mission based, mission running, objectives, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's exactly it. I think Kaiser, is that Kaiser Dragoon? I would say, or Dragon. Kaiser Dragon. Okay. So yeah, I would say Extinction was originally Endgame, given the cutscene you get at the end. Although, at the end of the cutscene on Extinction on Alpha King Titan, you do get the Rockwell Roar, and you see the Aberration Arc crashed into Earth. So, hey. Yeah, spoiler alert. Whoops.
Who knows? Whoops, yes.
It's not really a spoiler because you know who you're fighting in Genesis. It's like, boss, who is he? Oh crap, he's Rockwell. But anyway.
You can't avoid information nowadays, can you?
Yeah, you can't.
It happens with my TV every single week. You sort of log on to social media in the morning to check what's going on. Boom, 15 spoilers. Straight in the headlines.
So, yeah, we kind of moved on from 7 days there. We talked a bit about servers and a little bit about what we've got planned for Ark. How Lost Island is changing. And to go back to Pepe's question, yes, the full store will be available for you on Lost Island. You can buy your Shadow Mains, you can buy your modded dinos, which don't spawn on the map, you can buy your Tech Reapers, you can buy all sorts of stuff. Transfers are not opening yet because we've still got people that are working towards those boss kills. And just want to progress on Lost Island as their kind of vanilla experience. And I think bringing boosted tames, massively kind of like, or potentially upgraded armor sets as well that are left over from when we had upgrade station kicking around and stuff like that into Lost Island will just wreck it. Yes, well, we were saying as soon as the official Ark allow transfers into their Lost Island maps as well. We'll see how it goes. If the community gets to the point where they want it sooner, and there's overwhelming support for that, then yeah, that's what we're here for. But other than that, we'd try and leave it as long as possible, to be honest. I missed the vanilla Ark experience. The first time I landed on the islands, went walking off into the bushes and got absolutely wrecked by a raptor.
I remember that raptor.
Yeah, it's like, what is this stuff? There's bushes everywhere. I can't see anything, but there's noises and, oh my God, what's that? Comes careering out the bushes. You think it's a T-Rex. It was just a raptor. So, yeah. Then other stuff that we've got coming for Ark itself. There's not
by
a
the
lot.
way, DJ,
Yeah.
I realized the other day that you've turned on the pouncing raptors.
Yes, KBD kindly put Raptors Pounce back in.
I got pounced off my silo.
So yeah, they are there. And we did also mention that if you /TP while pounced on by a raptor, it goes with you. That was the interesting thing to figure out. But yeah, so there's I think that's pretty cool. It adds a danger element back into Ark. Considering you can like level to level 70 in about 10 minutes, there's got to be a bit of give and take in this game. It is called Ark Survival Evolved for a reason. So let's try and keep a little bit of the survival in there.
Phantom raptors are amazing.
So, anyways, moving on with stuff that's happening on the main Ark cluster. It mostly revolves around the new server. Once the new server goes in, then you'll start seeing the quest system going in. For those that you don't know, we have a quest system ready to go. It will allow you to do there'll be weekly quests, daily quests in there, and then there'll be long-term quest chains, which will be designed to lead you through the game and also give you rewards which you can work towards rather than having to rely on RNG to get. So, for example, if you're after a particular saddle, we'll put together a quest chain that will lead you through getting the different tiers of that saddle's blueprint by performing different things. It could be, say, for the Rex saddle, it could start off with killing 20 Rexes. Then it could be like, I don't know, tame another 20 Rexes, or then do something else like kill a particular boss, or, there's lots of stuff we can do there. It'll also let us track the stats of the players on the servers as well. So we will have leaderboards of how many kills you've got on particular bosses, how far you're progressing through the game, and you'll be able to see that all on the website. Very similar to what we've just started doing for 7 days. Good question. I don't know if we can do co-op. I think we could do tribe-based questing. So in essence, that would probably be co-op. But we'll start small. We've got some already set up on our test servers, so the concept works really well. But yeah, we can pretty much track anything in the game and attach a quest to it. So it's going to be quite cool.
It's going to be amazing.
As people achieve those quests, that obviously be announced server wide. So there can be quests for cluster firsts and stuff like that. All of this information will be available on the website as well, so you can see who got the first kill, all that kind of thing. It's going to be quite cool. Let me just grab a example. So a bit of custom work that we did for 7 days, for example, that's currently on the site. There's a leaderboard on there, which needs a little bit of work, but it currently looks like that. I've just pasted that into chat, so you can see, who's got the highest score, who's got the most currency, most kills, most deaths, number of hours played, what rank they are on the server, and stuff like that. That's just a very small sample of the kind of data that we're going to be pulling out of that. But yeah, so all of the stuff that's happening on the main cluster, all the exciting stuff, is kind of waiting in the background. We'll continue to roll out the we'll call them treasure chests. So there's currently 3 locations on the servers for treasure chests, which drop a combination of what we call rare materials and a 75% chance to drop a high-level saddle blueprint. So at the moment, there's 3 chests. They have a fixed respawn timer on them, so you could farm them. And eventually you will get the saddle that you're after, but we're going to give other opportunities for people to find those as well on different maps. Currently there's 2 on Lost Island, which means you can't take those blueprints off Lost Island. Well, you can take them off Lost Island, and there's 1 on the island at the moment, but there are going to be more added. And let me just have a quick look, see if I've missed anything. If anyone's got any questions, again, please put them in general. Yes, I need somebody to test something for me. We released an update to our own mod a few days ago. It was on Friday. And in theory, the changes I made to the game should reduce the Extinction Titan boss arena's cooldown from 6 hours to 2 hours. I need some confirmation that's working on the cluster, because that's very hard to test in the development kit. So it means you can go at those Titans more frequently. I wasn't going to reduce it down to 0 because that introduces a whole host of problems, especially around people spawning in multiple Titans while fights are in progress and all sorts of other shenanigans going on. Because in theory, a Titan fight can take up to an hour, and having a 2-hour cooldown gives people plenty of time to finish what they're doing before somebody else can then summon in another Titan. I think we'll move on to docs now. I haven't got general visible. Is there any questions in there, Nani?
People asking about more docs maps. Now,
more docs maps.
before we go down that route, I also would like to point out, as it was said to us last night, we actually slot capped the docs server last night, which is really, really cool. So thank you everybody who's been playing docs, and it's obviously really, really popular. So yeah, I thought that was quite cool. It wasn't for the one guy who ended up in a queue for a couple of minutes, but that's super cool. So what have we got planned for docs then?
So first off, I'll explain why there's a slot cap on docs. Docs is pretty heavy on server, and right now we don't want to bring everything to a grinding halt. The reason being is Titans are a thing in docs. They fly around. There are bosses wandering around as pretty much normal NPCs. It's very heavy. So we limit that to 20 players. Plans for docks. It's really popular. We've come across a few issues with spawns on docks. We, having had a chat with the docks developer, we've confirmed with him that it's not intentional the way it's working right now. He's looking into a couple of issues which may make his system work. But I think we've come to the conclusion that on our maintenance schedule tomorrow, we'll be adding another mod to docks, which is simple spawners. We'll be blocking all the megas from spawning. The megas being the horrible dinos that completely destroy you more than most. And we'll be going with a set of numbers that the players have put together in the docs thread. Now, if you're a player on docs and you don't have access to the docs thread, let us know in general and we'll add you to it. But let me just have a look. Sorry, Killer's just mentioned to me that today's update was supposed to fix that. I can actually confirm that it hasn't fixed that. That logic change is just to change the frequency of the checks that are in place. And when we saw the checks running very frequently, we ended up with no dinos on the map. The frequency was then backed off, and now we've got an overpopulation of hell sheep and mega rexes, which are just making life hellish for everybody. The other issue Mike is working on as well is his spawn limiter is removing megas that are currently in combat with players. He's looking into that as well. That's on his to-do list. But again, I don't think this is going to address the issues that we've been seeing. I still think we're going to see an overpopulation of sheep. And by the way, when I say sheep, these are not cuddly, furry sheep. They're sheep that will wreck your life.
They still fascinate me. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Hell sheep.
Yeah. They are cuddly, yes, but I can't monitor PMs while doing the roundtable and general, and also look at my notes. So I'm going to stick to general. Yeah, so we'll be controlling the spawns for the megas on docks as of Wednesday, and they will fall somewhere between the official numbers, which are supposed to be 5 of every mega, and the numbers that the players have requested, which are actually more. So I'm quite looking forward to that. Respawn timer yet to be defined. We'll start with 90 minutes, which was what we got to, and tweak it from there. We can go more frequently or less frequently, but that's something we can do on the fly without server restart once we get all this in.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, Docs runs a hard and a medium server at the moment on their official servers. Ours are different. They use a combination of settings from all of the official settings. As for Docs cluster, let's see how we get on with making RAG as best as it can be before we then suddenly roll out a load more maps.
Yeah.
Simply because we're not there with Docs yet. We haven't got it to the point where we can just look at it and go, yeah, that's running smoothly and people haven't got any major issues with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I still see a lot of requests for changes and stuff like that. So once I suppose we've got one to a nice playable level that everyone's happy with, then if population allows, we will go from there, right?
Yeah, I think so. And also, we need to figure out what the maps can realistically support in terms of population. We could allow 40 players on there when our new hardware arrives, but does that actually then make that map unplayable? It's
kind of agree with Pepe there as well. If you've got an easy and a medium docks, they would need to be separate. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Dark. We need to let it run and see how it goes. Yeah, that's the original intention, Lifelines, was to provide something for people who have finished Arc and want a different challenge, and then rotate through total overhaul mods over a period of time for people to try them out and just experience something completely different. But then we just have to figure that out with the community on how that works. So I'll also I'll be bringing up a docs channel in Discord instead of a thread. So we'll separate that out, and well, the chats won't be separated out, or no plans to do that yet. But the conversation will actually end up in a thread that everyone can have access to. Originally, the thread was only there to help shape the original kind of incarnation of docs and get it all set up. So yeah, simple spawners for docs going in on Wednesday. We'll iron that out. Then we've got all the stuff that was put together for the docs shop. That's ongoing work. Obviously, we've been a bit distracted with the spawns and stuff, but as a quick fix on that, I changed the name of the shop, obviously, to Zero Deals, as Zero. Yep. And I also added in the ability to sell your Federation shards to the shop for safekeeping. Ah, there you go, Shaggy. Sorted. Other things that you'll need to be aware of related to ARC are, and in no particular order, where's my list gone? Vote rewards for trackyservers.com currently are not claimable. The developer that wrote the plugin for that is aware. They've changed something on their side, so in his next release of that plugin, that should be resolved. We're also aware that industrial cookers can't be accessed in the trading posts, as well as industrial forges. Again, the plugin author for that particular piece of functionality is aware, and he will be investigating. Unfortunately, both of these developers are not as responsive as our normal go-to developers, so it could take a little while before we see the next version coming out. Oh, has that changed? Because we went round and tested all of that. And
did.
I have a list from a player that went round and tested them again for me, and said he got access to everything except for the forge and the cooker. There's only there's a limited list.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a limited list of things that you can have access to. And where was it? I had it in a ticket. Let me check with support. Support logs. Don't know where that ticket's gone. How long ago was that? Thank you, Pepe. That's really helpful. Got it. So the list of stuff that is currently working and not working. And these are additional things which should also work, which we thought we had tested. So they'll work outside trading posts if people want to leave them unlocked for other people. Yes, the Island Forge is... Oh, okay, it's locked. Great.
Yeah, and fix that.
We'll have a look into that.
Yeah,
we'll fix that in a minute. So I think that covers off ARC, current issues with ARC, what we're planning on doing, and how we're going to keep you guys up to date. The last thing I want to mention is I've deleted the FAQ channel from Discord. really unwieldy to maintain because you can only edit your own posts. So other GMs, admins couldn't keep it up to date. Searching it was okay because you could do Control F in a Discord channel and only search that channel, but it was still a bit unwieldy. So I've moved it over to the website. That's the link. And that's all the kind of general questions people ask in there. You go to the page, there's an index at the top. You click it, it'll take you down to the bottom. Big red arrow in the bottom right-hand corner of the website takes you back up to the top. And you can use Control F to search the page. I will be adding a proper sort of wiki type section to the site, or a whole new site, which we are going to put together for all of the games that we host, and it'll have all the questions in it, searched by categories and stuff like that. Yes, votes expire after 24 hours or 12 hours, depends on the website.
Yeah, it's independent, I think, between the three. Depends what they set it to.
Yeah.
But you can't stack them. They will just disappear. Sadly.
Yeah. Right, I think that's it. Has anybody got any questions? Anything they want to know? I've seen a couple of comments about automation. I would like to do a stream on our Crystal Isles base at some point to show people how to set up S Plus and Sol Terminal automation to the point where you can just click a switch and everything's done for you.
That would be cool. Get that recorded as well.
Yeah. I've seen a few questions about Domination Rexes and Indoms. So I'll answer that one now. An Indominus Rex is a liquid dino that is available on Crystal Isles. You can tame it, you can't breed it, and I don't think you can clone them because their costs are too high. They have some awesome abilities. They can bite while invisible, which does extreme amounts of damage. And we have an amazing clip of it in action. If you want to watch that, that is an invisible Indominus Rex that decided to do away with one of our long-term players.
It's
doing
also
it wrong, you need to tag her.
That's evil. That's one of the funniest clips I've seen for quite some time, actually.
I love that clip.
It was
That's
just
why
a
it's pinned
genuine
to the
reaction,
general
wasn't
channel.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's an absolute genuine reaction, which I loved. And the Domination Rexes, they are something you craft when you reach the appropriate level and you have the appropriate crafting components. They have large bonuses to damage mitigation and damage that they put out. They get a 15% bonus against any Apex dinosaurs, be it Apex being boss or alphas. They, in theory, should be able to stand toe-to-toe with a wild Giga of equivalent level. And the world bosses drop consumables for them. The consumables allow you to level up the damage, their hit points, and their stamina by 5 levels for each consumable. And you can go all the way up to level 254 before those mutations will stop applying. The saddle. Hang on, what are you looking at? So the description says Indom, but it's a Domination Rex. Yes, they will, Despair. The reason for that is originally the Domination Rex was called the Indominus Rex. I think it's Warner Brothers who own the rights to Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, Warner Brothers got their knickers in a twist about it and sent the author a cease and desist for copyright infringement. So he went through and changed the name of the dino in as many ways as possible. And yeah, missed a few places. Yeah, you've got to sit on it and feed it. I believe I put that in the description when I created those consumables. But anyway, so there's the difference between those two and why one of them shows up weirdly in some naming spots. Now, is there anything else? Has anybody got anything else they would wish to add? That includes yourself, Nani?
I don't think so. I think we've covered
docs.
Docs again.
Yeah, no, I've got docs, chat in docs, and can we go through suggestions? Let's have a look. Suggestions. Well, the Duke's packs are going to be added. That was a suggestion from Heavy.
Yeah, that's definite.
Docs map. Savage's suggestion. No objections to that at all. The rules and F1 menu are not present on docs. That is something I plan to add, but I believe docs should have have a custom rule set given the way it changes the gameplay. We already have players building in the same caves, cooperating very well and working together. So absolutely zero objection to that. A suggestion from Kaiser Dragon about the docs chats being present in the global chat. There's two trains of thought here. We want people to be able to talk with their friends across all of the servers. Yes, some of the chat that happens on docs isn't relevant to the live cluster, and some of the stuff that happens on the main cluster isn't relevant to the people on docs. But players have friends on both. They don't necessarily have two monitors or want to have Discord open all the time. And the players on docs are just as experienced at ARC as they are on docs and offer valuable insights to all the players in game. So I'm kind of like, yeah, I get that. Certain times of the day, docs is more prominent, and other times of day, the main cluster is more prominent. So I'm kind of torn on that one. I need more thoughts on it. I need more players' feedback in the dojo on it, and I need to understand how people feel about it before we make any kind of decision on that. I think it's going to be quite a contentious point.
Pros and cons to both sides. For Pepe, Rust, the initial implementation, get my words out, is going to be PvP, not PvE. We didn't really envisage anybody wanting to play Rust PvE. Is there a point to Rust PvE?
I think Rust is a beautiful game. I like the way you build in it. There's tons of tough stuff to explore and NPCs to kill. The only thing about PvE is I tend to build stuff to keep in PvE. In PvP, I tend not to be too bothered about it because I know it's going to get blown up. So I don't know. Remember, Rust has a forced server wipe every 30 days.
Yes, so it doesn't really lend itself to long-term PvE because the server patch that they throw out every single month is most definitely a save wipe every time. So yes, it could be done, but it would be the same 30-day wipe. It has to be.
Questions around the server chat for docs. Yeah, we can separate it out. That's not technically impossible. But like I was saying a few minutes ago, for guys that have just guys and girls that have just joined us, it has pros and cons. It splits the community, and people have friends playing on both servers, shall we say. And there's experience on both servers, which is relevant to people all round. So if somebody has a question on the main cluster, it's very easy to ask somebody on the other one. Yes, Docs does have a local channel. So does the main cluster. You can talk locally. You can talk within your alliance. You can talk within your tribe. It's nothing changed there.
And for Viking Panda, those are the rule sets we have down at the moment for PvP Rust.
Yeah, we only have one server for Docs. It's on its own. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I can make that suggestion. We don't have that facility yet. Personally, I would say allow players to filter the servers they can see. You can already mute people and unmute people using our chat functionality. You can also private message people as well within the game. Not many people use that, and I haven't really bothered advertising it. Yes, you can.
That's cool.
How do we mute people? Okay, I'll update the commands page, and if you want to mute people, you can. But personally, if I have to mute somebody, then it's kind of implies that the environment there is not a good one to be in. We'd rather resolve the issue than resort to muting somebody. Yeah, I like that idea too, Savage, but I think I'll need to request a change to our functionality to do that. It'll take a while, but I'm really hesitant to split up a global chat across the entire ARC community. Obviously, if we start running a docs cluster that's as popular as the main cluster and it has multiple maps, then yeah, a whole different thing. But while we've only got one map with a maximum of 20 people on it, I'm not sure they can out-chat. Voting issues. No, they haven't. Details on that are in the support channel. I also covered that a little bit earlier. No problem. Cool. So who have we got in here then? We got 21 people. How are we going to do this week?
DJ,
Mm,
I'm gonna put something in showcase
okay.
for the people who hasn't seen it. You can go to Ragnarok, and that's a part of what you see there. The monkey fight.
Oh, you've updated the Hall of Heroes.
Yes.
Oh, that looks absolutely awesome, by the way, if you've not seen that, everybody. Hall of Heroes has a whole new scene there.
Yes, you could. The docs players could use local chat and global when they want to talk to the main cluster. So, for those of you who don't know, the Hall of Heroes is a construction on Ragnarok that Sandy has built to immortalize server firsts and outstanding achievements on the server. Over there, you will find dioramas of all the main boss fights and the tribes that completed those kills. You will also find a wall commemorating all of our supporters. You can still travel there. leave Lost Island naked. TP to the trading post on Ragnarok, and then teleport to the Hall of Heroes.
Yeah, you did, Abby. You did.
Yes, Viking, that was mentioned earlier.
Yeah,
custom
we've
spawners
covered
will
that
go
one
in
off
tomorrow.
already, Viking. you have to go visit Sandy's hard work. It doesn't take much. It's a map transfer, a TP, then another TP, and you're there. And you can explore the Hall of Heroes to your heart's content.
Okay.
So,
Do we have anything else?
I don't think we do. How did everyone like the little custom chat icons that Sandy and Hank got? Is that something? Is that something they like?
I love mine.
Okie dokie. Well, I think that's a good start for today then. We've got 22 people listening. We'll follow the usual routine. I think who's going to pick a number this week out of the GM team? Sandy, Nani, or me? I'm not going to pick it, so it's between Nani and Sandy.
Vitamins, Viking Panda. It's all about the vitamins.
Can somebody give me a number in GM chat, please?
I will give you a number in GM chat. There you go.
Oh,
As usual, everyone on the round table, give me your best guess between 1 and 100 in general. This will translate to 7 days, players, by the way. Can we do a custom color or something for them?
Maybe.
We'll do something funky for you. Only one guess each, and your first guess is what I will take. So I'm going to... Don't get to choose. So it seems that I'm going to call the guessing in 3, 2, 1. Right. It seems that Shaggy has the same sense of humor that you do, Nani,
Yes.
along with Ariana as well. And that was it.
So we have a tie break
believe.
again.
We have a tiebreaker for the number 69. So Sandy, can we have a number in GM chat, please?
okay.
Okie dokie. Can the two of you give me 2 new numbers, please, in general? Between 1 and 100.
Ooh, that's good and split.
Well, have you seen the number in GM chat?
I'm just going to look. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So how's the pronunciation of your name? Is it Ariana, or do you pronounce the L? Or try and pronounce the L?
Or you can do what everybody else on comms does and call us Silver because we can't pronounce it.
The Y is silent. Oh. I'm still not going to try that. Somebody help me out here.
Maybe it's taken a vow of silence, Krusty. Who knows?
Alana. 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 Ah, there we go. I'm so dumb. Well, you get to pick your own custom chat avatar icon to go in-game. It needs to be ideally square with a transparent background. And if you just PM that to me, I will add that to the game for you. There are some... Yeah, you could hear the cogs going. If you search the dojo in Arc for chat icon, I believe there's some examples of the stuff that we can do. We can either use any icon that is currently in Arc at the moment, or we can add a custom one for you from outside of the game. And that will be permanent for as long as you play on the cluster. So pick well. You already picked. There's lots of dragon ones.
Cool. Are we doing?
No idea where I just typed that.
Are we doing a 7 days one as well this week?
Oh, we can do, but you will need to select the awesome reward.
I'm sure we can come up with something.
We need... Yeah.
What can we do? I've spent a nice Crucible blueprint. Book of Choice? Good suggestion. Better idea. Better idea than the Book of Choice. So the perk books from the collectible sets. 3 books of your choice. And I will stick another number in GM chat. There we go. So 7 days players only then. Let's have some guessing. You playing 7 days, Krusty? Ooh. Come with 69 again. Okay. Is that it? Well, I guess this then comes down to... Are we still going? Are we not? We're done?
We're done there.
We're done?
What I just typed.
Okay. 3, 2, 1 then. So I'm seeing a trend here of people who actually turned up to the round table and actually take part in all the shenanigans getting rewarded, because that looks to me like that would be Arilana again. As my number was now 96.
Oh, you did you?
I did. I reversed it.
Too predictable.
It's
cool.
It's there in Gem Chat. Okay, so if you DM me with a list of 3 books from the collectible book sets that you want, I will get those delivered to you in game. So that would be like the Pistol Pete books or the Wasteland Warrior books, that sort of thing, Urban Combat. Pick your poison. Finish your set. Who? That would be Nani. You DM Nani. Cool. Shall we round up for the day then?
I think so.
Okay. Oh, you won again now, Ilana. You're now banned from winning again for a week because you're winning everything currently. So yes, you won. Congratulations. If you DM me the 3 books of the sets you want, I will make sure you get those.
Oh, I think I found some nice icons. Oh, here's a good one.
Coolio. Right, so if we're done for this week, Sandy.
Yes?
Have you been learning your lines as Tom's not here this week?
I tried anyway.
Okay, give it your best shot.
We have been the Wicked Ninjas. You are amazing. And we'll talk to you next week.
We will indeed.
Perfect.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.